I want to welcome everybody to WDLJ from 108. I just went ahead and decided just to do a video, and then when I finish it, I'll upload it because of the complications, of course, of the mechanics behind this share stream, all that, invite guests, dealing with the different types of web pages and websites. So what I'm going to do is just go over what the topics are and talk about it, upload it, and then I will take any questions on the YouTube channel or the Facebook channel that I uploaded to. Like I said in the beginning, before everything messed up, this is about spiritual enlightenment. It's about yourself, finding yourself and your relationship with the Creator above. Um, Many names you can use, whatever you want to call him. I say just Creator because it's more comfortable to me. You can say God, you can say Jehovah, you can say whichever name you choose to use. Understanding spiritual enlightenment is just understanding yourself and having faith within the Creator to understand that everything is not what it appears to be, or life is not as hard as we make it. Um, Life becomes difficult when we try to live within that life, not of that life, but in that life. That means when we try to become rich or become famous or buy a big home, cars, all those materialistic things, and we forget about the rare essence of being who we are as creation. And we forget about our morality. Everyone has been through it. No one's not acceptable to it. But you always know when you're doing something wrong because you just have that little feeling, and you just be like, I'll get over it, or I'll move on, or whatever the case may be. I tell people all the time, you have to think about what you do and how you do it and how you project yourself. Um, my spiritual enlightenment took years and years and years of development. Um, Many people know I went through a lot of situations. I do have a mental illness. I do have a lot of things I deal with it every day, but it did not change my faith. It does not change my ideology on how to move forward. Um, I have trouble figuring out how to do things because throughout my life, I've always had a circle around me that helped me do these things. But my message has always been the same. It's always been clear. It ain't never been sidetracked. It ain't never been, you know, 1 minute I'm on this side of it, the next minute I'm on that side. When it comes to faith, I've always stood straight and strong. I understand that there is evil and there's good, because there's no evil without good, and there's no good without evil, because you would not know the difference. Some say spiritual alignment. They give it different names. Armor of God. You have other people say the shroud, whatever, however they want to describe it. In actuality, it is you. It is nothing else but you. It is you believing in yourself, believing in the Creator and the purpose that you are here for. Do not ever let people tell you they can guide you anywhere, or they can make it better, or help you get into heaven, or help you get closer to the Creator, or any of that nonsense, because no one can do that but yourself. It takes you, your faith, your ideology, your thinking, because at the end of the day, it's you who has to face your judgment. And obtaining spiritual enlightenment it is not an easy thing, because you have to understand, you have to change your whole perspective, and your morality has to be better, and the way you look at people and treat people and care about people honestly has to change. You have to change yourself from within to show others that enlightenment, because they will see it. Spiritual enlightenment also, you're not subject to the temptations that everybody else is, because you become comfortable with yourself. You don't feel guilty. You don't feel depressed. You don't feel sad. You don't feel a lot of things that a lot of people go through because they don't understand themselves. Um, People say, well, how can you understand yourself if you go through mental illness? Well, I understand what my mental illness is. I understand what caused it. And no, there's no cure. Um, I have a good outlook and there's a negative outlook. It can go either way. Whichever way is chosen, I'm not upset about. I don't question. And that's a lot of things I tell people. I've never really questioned the creator on anything that's happened in my life from my childhood to now. Um, it's just, I just believe that everything happens for a reason. I'm doing this for a reason. I started doing this for a reason. Um, got away with it, I got away from it because of circumstances in life, lost my focus, lost myself. And so the biggest question is, how do you get there? Well, the number one thing is yourself. You must understand who you are, what you think of yourself when you look up in the morning, when you get up. What do you do the first thing you do in the morning? You take creative really giving you life, or you grab a cigarette, or you grab coffee, you grab something to eat, you turn the TV on, go to the bathroom, which is the first thing you do when you get up in the morning. That's a start. The next thing is how you plan your day. How you plan to do something consciously to help another person, to make the lives of people around you better. How do you do that? How do you fit that in with your lifestyle and your life? The next most important thing is forgiving yourself for anything that you've done. You have to forgive yourself first. Before you can forgive anybody else, you have to forgive yourself. And I watch a lot of different movies and shows and TV shows about good and evil, and I've always just taken them collectively and analyzed them and see what they have in common. Same thing with religion. It's a commonality. So when I say I'm spiritually enlightened, I am. I mean, I'm much, much better. I feel much, much better. There are some things I still struggle with, but there are things it's going to be part of me, and it's going to be a part of me that allows me to get the message out, to get the message to you. Like I tell people all the time in my old shows, everything I say is not meant for everyone. It's always that message for someone. And it may not happen that day, that month, but I've heard from people that say, hey man, I caught your video. Oh man, I didn't even know you did videos, but it kind of touched me. As a child, they say I was gifted. Gifted is taboo in some people's perspective. It's good in some people's perspective, and then some people just don't believe. And that's where your faith comes in. You have to have faith in yourself, and you have to just look and see throughout your life what occurrences that you can, understand, and the things that happen in your life that you can't explain. They say, what's your gift? I said, my gift is my ability to read life and read people and see through them and see things in them that they may not see themselves or they may not recognize within themselves. It's a psychological thing to me sometimes, because I see things that, don't always end up in the best situation. And then people would say to me, well, you're a fortune teller. No, I don't tell you a fortune, because when you try to tell a person's fortune, they're trying to make changes. And some of those changes are not meant to be made. So those mistakes that they were supposed to make, they end up making different ones, which creates a different outcome of their life. So that's being gifted. And they say, well, can't you do it with yourself? Well, you can't. It's not meant to be. You know, um, other people will notice your gift. Other people will notice things about you and will let you know how to proceed. If they're good, and if they're bad, they'll teach you how to use your gift to manipulate people and to use your gift to actually get anything you want. Um, I've been down that road also. So gaining my spiritual enlightenment is not about me trying to change your mind. It's just trying to get you to see yourself, you know, to see who you are, to see that, everyone has the gift. You don't need no one to tell you how to read the Bible or how to pray or how to do this or how to do that. It's already within you. It's your morality. It's your blessing. It is what you're born with. It can never be taken from you. Um, we all have it. Like I said, anytime you do some things wrong, you always got that feeling, but you go ahead and do it anyway. So when you gain your spiritual enlightenment, it's a it's a struggle. I will honestly tell you, you will go through so many things that you will be so angry at times, and you want to quit, you want to die, you want to kill, you want to do everything. It's so many things that just going to happen to you, and you're going to experience that can turn you the other way. And gifted people have turned to the wrong side, um, because the stress of it is great. People, one, don't believe you. Two, your family think you're crazy. Three, you don't have many friends. Um, you find yourself more isolated. Um, so having that gift is sometimes good and bad, but that's just the way the Creator has made it. He's put people on this earth to make a change where change needs to be. And if you look throughout history, it's always been that way. Change has always come when we thought the darkest days were amongst us as creation. So gaining your spiritual enlightenment is all about you. How you keep it is you just keep true to yourself. Do not allow yourself to wander, to dream of what this world offers or what this world can give to you. Now you should figure out what you can do for the world that you live in. What can you do for your neighbor? What can you do for their children? What can you do for your sister, brother? All those things are built within you in your spiritual enlightenment. And once you gain that, there's nothing that can break you. You can't be broken. It's like a feeling that, you can go on. And that's what I have. I have a feeling I can go on. I don't know how long. Because, if he chooses to make all this go away, then it goes away. That is, he doesn't. I just believe that at that time when my illness does kick into that form, I'm just going to be a person with a bunch of ideas and messages, and just going to be writing them down, I guess. That's how I look at it. Before then, I had a death plan. So I like to let people know that truth, that I was at that point too where I had to figure that out, because I did not want to be like a lot of people I've seen in institutions. And I was contemplating on how to end it when the day I felt that I was losing full control. I could never say I will have total control, but I have faith where I have enough control as He wishes to be. That's spiritual enlightenment. That is the ability to fight off all the temptations and um, things that have come your way. I tell people all the time, I've been celibate for 3 years and 6 months or something like that. And I feel great, honestly. I tell people that all the time, I feel great. I really do, because I went through my whole young life sleeping around, partying, sleeping here, sleeping with this and that one, and this one, that one, this one. And it never, ever meant anything. To stay the way I am means everything. That means I have control. Then I had no control. I just could not control that. Now I control what I want to do and who I want to be with. And as I tell many people, I do not wish to be with anyone. There's much more for me to do than focus on one person. That is my choice. I tell a lot of women I meet that it's nothing personal, but it's just my choice. That's my spiritual enlightenment. That's not everyone's. And I want people to understand, I'm not saying this is yours, but it is your job to get out there to discover you and use the tools that are out there, not the person in the pulpit, but the books that you can read, the historical references you can find, everything that you can find on understanding yourself, the creator, and your purpose. Like I tell people, everybody ain't supposed to be rich. It's what you do with your wealth that has been given. Now people say, oh, the devil did this, the devil. You must understand, and when you get your spiritual enlightenment, you will see he has no power. He has no ability to do anything to you that you do not allow. You make your own choices. That's what the free will is. He has no ability to harm you. He has no ability to cause harm. He just has the ability to make things look good when you ain't supposed to be doing. Okay? That's exactly what it is. He makes that opportunity right there, knowing it's not what you're supposed to be doing. That opportunity to cheat on your wife or your husband, or to steal that car or steal that jewelry, whatever that is, that opportunity he makes available. He makes your mind be able to focus and you be able to complete that task that you've chosen. That's what he has. It's called influence. He has the ability to influence. People want to say the trickster and all that. No, it's what you want. He can't trick you. If you want that new car, knowing you can't afford it, and you go get it, he ain't tricking you. You just want it. And he done made a way for you to get it. That goes with anything in life. That's spiritual enlightenment. Spiritual enlightenment is knowing him. It's spoken in the Gospels. Know the evil one as well as you know me. People be like fighting over the gospel, who's right, the New Testament, Old Testament. It was 12 apostles. Okay? Each one had a perspective on how and their interpretations of Jesus was. So you have to go out there and find them. There were people that lived during that period of time. It's called the Dead Sea Scrolls. You got to go see what their opinion was. There's documentation about in the Roman history. There's documentation in Islamic history. That region. There's so much information that you as yourself can go out and develop in yourself to discover, and then you'll find yourself going closer and closer to your creator. And you'll see your walk will not be as hard as it was. And things will get better. And people will start to make you see where you are wrong. And you'll find more people are saying you need to do this, you need to change, you need to be better because there's a better light. And that's spiritual enlightenment. Once you hit it, trust me, you'll know. You'll feel like there's nothing you can't do. And nothing you won't do for the creator. So you're going to always have that in you, and there's nothing, as you want to call it, the devil, and anybody else can do about it. Most people fear what is unknown. They fear death. I don't fear death. I fear life. Life is a lot harder than dying. Or you might go to hell. I might not. Who knows? But I know right now I'm experiencing so much in this world. I can't be that much worse to me. That's how I feel. So in spiritual enlightenment, you just accept the norm of society and you don't make it part of who you are. You don't make it you. As he says, live in this world, not of this world. That's what he meant. Don't get yourself caught up in this world. You have to survive. You have to work. You have to do the things society dictates. But you don't have to live of this world. You're just living in it because you believe in a greater, higher power and a higher purpose. And with spiritual enlightenment, you're going to discover that you're going to see the evils of man. As I say, the evils of man will blow your mind. You'll forget all about the devil. You will forget all about him. You will see the evils of man. Man is the epitome of evil. Of all the things that he's done in this world, from wars to massacres to rape to incest, all these things man did. This is what the creation did. So we can't simply make excuses for what we allow to continue to happen in society. Either we're going to make a change or it continues. I see more people complain about certain things that doesn't even matter. Like people complain about taxes. If you're a spiritual person, the number one thing Jesus said is what belongs to Caesar is give it to Caesar. So the money belongs to the government. The government prints it. Belongs to him, give it to him. That's all it is. Very simple. But people don't like that. So people try to fraction and try to change it. A lot of people get on me about tithes. I don't have an issue with tithes. I have an issue with you providing a lifestyle for a person. If you have a church and the lights need to stay on and you got to make sure plumbing work and different things like that, then you set up a way that organization does that. But you do not set up an organization where the pastor or bishop or rabbi or whatever you want to call him, Pope, live greater than you. He's no greater than you. He's no better than you. He knows no more than you. No one speaks to God. Sorry. We'll get into that, the unforgivable sin. You'll find out what I'm saying and what I mean by that, because no one does. No one has. You'll learn about all the things that went on during Moses, and you'll learn about the fall of the fallen angels and what he said. This is what I do when I teach you spiritual history, because spiritual history is understanding there are a lot of versions, a lot of Bibles, a lot of teachings, a lot of writings on creation. But when you have spiritual enlightenment, you don't really worry about it. You don't really stress on it. Like I tell people, the book of Lilith, I don't doubt that she existed. I don't doubt that God created man and woman equal, but knew they couldn't coexist. Just like the dinosaurs, they had to get rid of them. Man and dinosaurs couldn't coexist, so, he sent her on her way. And there's religions that believe that she co-potated with the devil and blah, 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 and there's different conspiracy theories on how all that evolved, Cain and Abel, and what happened, and from there on. When you have spiritual enlightenment, you really don't care. You really don't care about what went on. You just try to make sure that it does not corrupt the truth of the Creator and the purpose of yourself. That's what we do all the time. We corrupt ourselves, and then we look for reasons to lay blame. I tell people all the time, you ain't promised nothing in this world when you're born. You ain't promised wealth. You ain't promised a happy life. You ain't promised nothing but the life that you have. And you can do the best because people have overcome some of the worst things and atrocity and overcome. So those visions of you overcoming and the possibility that you can overcome, guess what? It's there. You just got to be willing to endure, because you have to endure, because there is no spiritual enlightenment without pain, without suffering, without misery. Because you lived in this world, you've done so many things. You don't just think you're just going to jump on the bandwagon and be like, oh, I'm saved and the Lord's going to be nice to me. No, it doesn't work that way. And later on, I'll start to teach you and show you the teachings of those particular things like redemption and you call him the devil. I call him the repo man. Anything you ill got, the repo man gonna come back and get. You understand what I be telling people? And people always be like, yeah, I found the Lord, but then lost my job. Now this and this happened. I said, because the repo man always come back and get what he got you. Because if you ill got it, he wants it back. Because you was riding with him. Now you want to ride with him, he want his stuff back. You can't ride with the Lord with the stuff you had, but you could ride with him. So some people fall back into that, where they go back to the riches and the money and the cars and base their life on materialistic ideas. Create religions based on it. Create hate based on it. We're all God's creation. No one was made greater than the other. No one is greater than the other. I teach people spiritual enlightenment will also enlighten you on what we really are. We are of one blood, one DNA, one structure. What changed is climation. Climation changes skin color based on cold and heat and light and sunlight. These are scientific facts. These are not something that I'm just making up. You can go look it up yourself. And this is what I tell people. Always learn. The more you learn, the more you can be enlightened. The more you become enlightened, the more you'll see. And then you'll be able to see through anything these churches and these reverends and these pastors or these people that are telling you these things. You'll be able to see through it. You'll be able to see through so many things. You'll be able to see through anything that you want to, because your eyes will be open. Now, many people are going to say I went through a period of, oh man, I was terrible. Yes, I was. Most definitely. I was ruthless. But that's a transition. That's a part that I had to see, I had to do, I had to experience. Then I had to become humble and learn. And now I'm learning, and I still struggle, of course, because this is what it is. Spiritual enlightenment is an ongoing thing. How do you keep it? Just by doing what you're supposed to do and give praise or homage to the Creator and yourself. And stop looking at your negatives and look at your positives. If you're not doing positives, then you need to, because it ain't nothing gonna be nothing but negatives. So you have to try to figure out, it ain't what the world expects of you, it's what you expect of yourself. Don't let no one, your parents, friends, anyone, make your expectations of yourself greater than what you want or what you believe you to be. You have to be happy with yourself. Skinny, fat, what people call ugly, whatever. You have to be happy with yourself. I've seen skinny people unhappy, but I've seen skinny people happy. I've seen fat people confident, more confident than anybody, but I've seen them unhappy. So it's a balancing effect of life. It's how you feel about yourself and how you reject yourself. We worry too much about death. We worry too much about this. We allow society to dictate how we're going to react and live. The COVID situation didn't ever bother me because I wrote a long time ago, and you can go look it up. I fear nothing. The Bible says, Jesus says, go out amongst the diseases and help them. And do not be afraid. So why should I be afraid of COVID? if my faith is strong. I shouldn't be. Everybody has a date. Everybody has a time that they will expire. It's just the way it is. It's just never going to change. Not in my lifetime. Maybe we'll get better and we'll live to be 200, 300 years old. But I don't see it because man is such the way he is. Um, but it happens. We go back to the days of Abraham and all those guys living great lives. Then we become a better human race. We have to stop hating each other. We have to stop hating each other based on someone telling us. If someone of another race does something to you, don't base it on the race, base it on the person. That's what your morality and your self-enlightenment becomes you. That's when you know morality. That person is that person did that, not his culture. We all have done things that we should want to fix and change and apologize and maybe rectify some things we've done in our life. That's all about spiritual enlightenment. That's all about your growth. That's about where you're going to make it, how you're going to survive through this world. And what you pass on to your children is so vital. All these conspiracy theories, the world is flat, this is that, and this is that, and it's just plain stupidity. To allow anybody to tell you anything. You want to know if the world is flat? There are people that have been around the world on a bicycle or travel. You want to know if you can go to space? There are people that have done that too. You want to know about the ocean? Get on down there and find out because there's people that have done that. There's everything that you want to know, people have done. If they want to know it bad enough, they figure a way to get there. They figure a way to do it. Me, I don't care. To me, I always say to myself, well, someone says, there are aliens? I was like, depending on what you call aliens. Because me, I believe that the creator keeps creating until somebody don't bite the apple. That's how I look at it. And some people laugh about it, some people don't. But that's my enlightenment. That's my view. That's how I see things. It's not how you're supposed to see it. But all I'm saying to you is once you find your own, no one can tell you anything. No one can tell you anything about how you should feel and view the creator. You will always have it within you and you will always stand by it. And this is what I do with the truth. I try to give you positives, but also let you know the negatives also. There are negatives, there are consequences. For everything that you do, even if you do something good, somebody's not going to like it. Do something bad, of course, somebody's not going to like it. You're never going to make everybody happy. And one thing you definitely have to believe is you're willing to die for your faith. Because if you make too much noise, you will be killed. As many leaders have been before. So you must have a strong faith and a strong will. Many people have died in other countries trying to just say Jesus exists. Or follow Jesus, and people kills them. And I give those people all the props in the world. Me, I ain't got that spiritual enlightenment where I'm going to go to another country. But maybe I will. Who knows? That's a later date of my life. But those are people that their faith is so strong they go over there, knowing the outcome could be death. And most likely is death. So I just want people to always understand that your spiritual enlightenment is you. And your morality is you. And I always tell people the Beatitudes. People get them confused. They try to adaptation to English language or translation of this and that and this and that. But the basic concept of meek shall inherit the earth does not mean the weak. It means the people that are humble and are humble unto him shall inherit the earth. Also talks about how you treat people. Then it also talks about those who that follow him shall be persecuted by his own family, brothers, sisters, friends, all of them. Speaks of the gifted. Speaks of so many things that we endure today. We'll listen to a person on television or someone listen to someone on YouTube talk about the most ridiculous mess. But if a person gets on and talk about spirituality and truth and loving and caring and peace and harmony, we get nothing. People will follow the most radical things in the world where they will drink poison or they will kill their 2 children because somebody said. Or they will follow an individual as though he's God. Or he's Jesus. He come down and tell you, Jesus, are you out of your mind? This is how we become. Because we've allowed ourselves to be dictated to by society, this world. The devil himself, as I call it. Because to me, this is hell. This, living in this world, is hell. And as you'll learn in the stories when I break out the book of Jubilee and Enoch, and I don't care if people say it's not real, whatever. You don't know what's real. You don't know what's right. Just because somebody tell you does not mean. You just find a commonality in each of the readings and the books and the teachings that you can find. And when you find that commonality, you can always see that's the truth. They're saying it, they're saying it, they're saying it. No one is doing no arguing about it. But there's a quote that the fallen angel said, they shall praise me, they shall kneel upon me, sing glory to me. And what do people do in church? People will be mad at me when I say that, but I honestly to ask them, what do you do? No, what they, you don't have to do all that. Jesus says you can go in your room in a closet. You don't have to be all up in there. So that's not a necessity. So be very careful. Because that's one thing he did say. And also tells you in the scriptures of that period of time, the fallen angel, he shall be cast amongst those what he hate the most, and he shall live there into eternity. And he shall rule. That was his kingdom. This is his kingdom. It says when he met Jesus, I can give you all this. So what does that tell you? If you really think about some of the things in the way they're phrased in the Bibles that you read and the texture and the person that's writing it, you get to see more as you become more enlightened. You get to see through more things. You get to see the truth. And the truth being is, look at the world. Look how we behave. Look how we treat each other. Look what's more important? Money, prestige, accomplishments. Not that children are dying, the elderly are dying, or people are starving. No. The biggest thing on TV is Kardashian show or something, or The Bachelorette, or something that deprives you of your own humanity. Makes you believe in something that's so stupid. And that's what he does. He puts it there, he makes it possible, and people eat it up. It's no difference. We pay millions and millions, billions of dollars in sports. And you mean we can't clean up one neighborhood or trailer park or Chinese neighborhood or hood or the reservation. We can't fix this, but we can spend billions on a stadium. Think about it. All that's about spiritual enlightenment. You start to really see what is going on, and you start to see what they really are. Now, people gonna say, "Oh, they're beasts and demons and blah blah blah." No, they're man. Man has always been this way. Ever since Adam did not do what the Creator told him, teach her as I've given you the gifts. Watch over her. He didn't. So man is just the way he is. And man's going to always be that way. You look throughout history. War after war after war. They figure out things to fight about. They're fighting about what now? Politicians? Every time someone's elected, that one's the devil, this one's the devil. I find that just mind-boggling. Or religion. Religion's been fought over for thousands and thousands of years. People have been slaughtered in the name of religion. So gaining your spiritual enlightenment, you'll start to see and you start to understand, you'll start to feel. And then you'll start to want to make a difference. And I believe when more people start to not be afraid to let the world know that they are aware and their enlightenment is their guide, we can make some changes. I don't think we'll ever be able to defeat them because they're so strong. It's going to take the Creator to destroy. There's not been an empire he has not destroyed. You have to remember that every man that ever thought he could rule the world has been destroyed. The Romans, the Babylonians, the Persians. You can go on and on and on and on. We leave that up to him. It's just, if you enlighten and you live in your neighborhood, reach out and try to change what's around you. It starts from the grassroots, and the grassroots is you. You are the temple of him. So I want to thank everybody for listening. I hope that I can get this sent out and streamed up. Hopefully I don't have to do it again. I had all this wrote down, but evidently he didn't want me to remember where I put it. So I guess he believes I should speak, not sit here and pull out scriptures and grab books and try to, you'll find it. You'll find all your answers where you want to find them. And your prayers, you've got to understand when you pray for something, it ain't, like I said before, it ain't what you want. It's going to be what you need. And always read the fine print. I want to thank you for listening to WDLJ. This has been The Truth. I'm Derek. Peace. I'm out.